Hey there team, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Ostranauts. I've been meaning to look at this for quite a while, but it's very rough. It's very janky. I actually took some time off channel recently to sort of get my head around it, mostly driven on, you might even recognize the text, but this is by the guys that made Neo Scavenger. And I've actually been playing a lot of that off channel. I'm kind of hooked on it. And if I can overlook all the weird, I don't know if I'd necessarily say Neo Scavenger's janky, but it's like a holdover from Flash era. Like it is a little bit, it's not super user friendly. But once you get your head around it, it actually works quite well. So I thought, yeah, look, let's give Ostranauts a bit more of a go. So there's a bit that I don't like about it, but there's something in there that really just keeps making me want to come back and have a look at it some more. Apparently it's set in the same universe as Neo Scavenger. I don't know much about Neo Scavenger because, you know, I usually get killed by dogs and dudes with sharper sticks than me. But this is more of a spaceship salvager game, and it's quite hardcore and complex, just like Neo Scavenger. So yeah, it's very much start a run again, get your fucking head kicked in brutality. So look, I'll take you through what I do know, and if you guys are interested, we can chip away at it over time. So yeah, let's just go straight into it. So we'll just pick a save slot. It's nice of it to give us 3, but we don't need 3. We've got 1 and it's probably just going to keep getting deleted. I kind of hate the character generator in this. I wish I could randomize it all. It kind of smacks of a similar issue that Hardspace has suffered from. It's sort of like Hardspace, they're very proud of their story and they refuse to let you skip it. And to me, it's because they sort of want to make you bask in their stuff. This character generator, you'll see, look in the sync. Oh my God. I mean, look, there you go. You can have your pronouns. So game of the year, straight up. At least you can randomize, but you'll see very quickly every single person looks like, it's like, tell me you have a Twitter account without telling me you have a Twitter account. You know what I mean? These just look like game developers to me, and it's gross. Yeah, so, but at the same time, who's going to be looking at your fucking head anyway? Like, I talk about this all the time, who gives a shit? But like, just have a look at some of these bloody, oh my God. I don't want to role play as any of them. Anyway, so whatever. For crying out loud, this guy's Jackson Bullock. Smart Armstrong, that'll do, whatever. He'll be on a list. First thing he needs to do is go around door to door and tell people he's moved into the neighborhood. So whatever, right? I mean, I don't particularly love it, but I'm not going to get hung up on it because it's only part of the game. It's not really even got much to do with the game at all. But the career thing is sort of, you'll see. I don't really love it, and I wonder who they're appealing to with this, right? Trust me, once we get out of the character generator, the game's actually really cool, but I just find this, it doesn't set a great impression, especially for people that probably came from Neo Scavenger and want that hardcore, brain twisty inventory management, you know, sort of approach to a game. This sort of doesn't give the best first impression, but bear with me. I'm telling you, you know, if I can get over it, you can get over it. So I think the only thing you've got available to you is this shipbreaker. So you choose your career, right? And it gives you this bloody visual novel stuff, you know, where you have to pick a bloody answer, and it starts giving your sort of background story character generator, right? So look, like, we'll go through it because I don't think I've looked at this on the channel before. When it's all said and done, shipbreaking and scavenging and hustling is a grind. Hustling, righto. That's what was once dangerous eventually becomes monotonous. This just so happens to be a phase of your life from which, looking back, you can't remember any interesting events at all. The only thing noteworthy about this particular period of backbreaking 100-hour weeks is what you're starting to do to cope, right? And you will get this theme that you're under the thumb of the man, and the only way out is to be to not actually follow the sort of 9-to-5 grind and do something dodgy or illegal. And I'm like, yeah, but maybe I don't want to role play as that dude. Maybe I do want to just be a grinder. But anyway, it's their universe. Let them do whatever. Go ship spotting, whatever. Cool. So apparently I'm complacent now. And then you can read all this crap that I'm not super interested in. Okay. Labor barge locker. So the armed guards turned, and that's, do you sort of see my point? Like, I'm not trying to morally grandstand or anything like that, but when you start giving someone options, it's like force a lock, all right, be a prick that steals things, cut a hole in the crate, be a prick that steals things, mislabel the crate. It's the same, like, I don't really see a choice here. And if you gave me the fourth choice of don't fuck with the crate and go back to your job, I'd take that, but this is how they want to do it. Anyway, I don't want to bang the drum too much harder. Maybe I'll get to a point where I'll start to memorize the starting stuff, just like in Neo Scavenger, and you can check my videos on that. And if you want to see more, we'll keep playing that. But you can hit random on that and randomize your good traits and your negative traits. And ultimately, I'd love to just hit a random button. But as I can understand, there is no random button. Maybe it will be implemented later. And that's what I'm saying. So I don't want to jump to conclusions. It's possible that this could be randomized at some point during development. Or they're doing the hard space thing where they're like, look at all this visual novel shit. And I'm like, I don't care. I just want to hit random. Just give me a random character. So I've got a contact or something. Okay, cool, right, whatever. Hack the engine, troubleshoot the engine, abandon ship, whatever. Hack the engine. Let's go. Skilled in hacking. All right, I get it. Cool. So shady deal. You're approached by a co-worker with a shady scheme. At least I can say no thanks, right? But all that does is just keeps putting you back through the random generated ringer, right? Maybe AO team don't need to bow. I mean, at least this you can fess up, right? That you've got some sort of thing going on. Tell the company, which I will do. Oh my God, look at these characters. Fucking hell, man. Okay, cool. All right. Here we go. And now look at this. There's people at the going down to the local watering hole. If you're careful and lucky, they could be an opportunity. So I'm like, what sort of piece of shit person am I playing as here, right? Get them drunk, mug them, pick their pockets or hack them. Like, where's the skip button? Anyway, I don't know, mug them, whatever, right? Fuck it. Sometimes the path to riches is a goddamn straight line. Yeah, okay, right. So I wonder if this more gives you some insight to how the developers fucking tick more than anything. How do you deal with boredom? I don't know, watch old movies, right? And I guess career continued, achievement adequate, respect unremarkable, right? Cool. So finally it gets to this point, and I think you can skip over the ship, but it will very quickly offer you a second choice. But this is how you finally get to the end of it, where it offers you a ship sort of, I think, based on all this crap that you built on. Now, look, this could just be personal taste. And I don't want to rant any more than I have already, but some people might really like this and think it's quite interesting. I will at least admit it is original. Like, I don't think I've seen anything quite like this. I just don't think it's really that, give me a random button. Give me a random button and I'll be happy. Anyway, I'll just take this bloody ship, right? That's fine. Right? Cool. Ready. Good. Submit. Now, one of the other things that we might as well get out of the way, since I'm sort of pointing out the things I don't love about this game, is now the other thing is you can multi-crew. You get crew and all that, and it gets a little bit more like a colony management. You can put them on auto behavior to repair and salvage and all that, which I'm still getting my head around. It's still very janky. The AI is not quite there. It reminds me of sort of early Barrow trauma. So like instead of just one dude, it looks like you can handle multiple dudes. So we've got this sort of fucking Facebook, Twitter nonsense built into the game. Again, you see what I'm sort of saying? Like socials. I've got a tab actually called socials. I don't give a shit about any of this. But then you can do these sort of gigs, which I've never really done. We won't do it today because we're going to go salvage, right? But if you go to, how do I pull up my character? Here, right? So when I can go and interact with other characters, and you get the sort of combat system that you got from Neo Scavenger, this sort of rock, paper, scissors, pick an action interplay. So it is the same sort of system, but instead it's focused on all your fucking insecure feelings in the other person, right? All about how aloof you're feeling or you're adequate, unremarkable respect, you need intimacy. And I'm like, okay, like on paper, it's cool that you took the system and did something different with it, but like, I don't give a shit about, you know, all these feelings. Why are there feelings in my space salvage game? So yeah, look, it works pretty much the same, but whatever, you know, again, I don't rate it. Anyway, so they're my sort of gripes. So there are a few, but I still think there's something interesting going on with this game, okay? So you can buy a bunch of shit here as well, and I don't understand the game well enough to really know what I need. You start with some stuff, some gear. You've got an inventory system here. You've got like a PDA, which is handy. You've got some food and all that. You've got angle grinders and all sorts of shit, you know, welders, pressure suits. You know, but you've got enough to get yourself started, all right? So we're gonna right click on here and we're gonna go launch ship, and then off we go to the races. So there's your little setup. And that's how you build a character. But if you just click through it unconsciously, you can sort of just skip over it in a way. Okay, confirm. So we're gonna go checking derelicts. So first things first, my ship is a shitbox. Now, is it Z or X or something? X, you can do this and it shows you all the bits and pieces. And it might be 9. If you hold 9, it highlights parts, almost like Power Wash Simulator we were looking at. So you can see all the bits and pieces. So there's like it's not actually that complex when you get your head around it. So we've got power cabling running through there. And then you've got these like N2 canister systems hooked up to RCS, which is basically your maneuverability, your maneuvering thrusters. So you want to keep that all repaired. You've got a battery here. You don't have a full-on reactor. You've got a heater because you have here is sort of like your life signs and atmospherics and that sort of stuff. And if we pull up, I think and you go to traits, you can see here, micro G hypovolemic. What is that? That's low blood volume, I think. So we've got all these things, but cruel, Jesus Christ. You can, if you start like suffocating and all that, it'll pop up in here, right? But yeah, so you've got all the bits and pieces of your ship and you've got a little airlock at the back, and not all ships are made equal. This is a pretty basic one, but I've had ones which are half smashed to bits. And if you crash into shit, you can just instantly die. All it's got to do is rupture the hull and you're fucked. So yeah, keeping heating up, keeping pressure up. You can see mousing over the compartment up the top right, you can see temperature, pressure's at like 1 bar basically, or 100 kPa. And you've got O2, N2 balance, which, you know, is pretty standard stuff. So like if your heater broke down, it'll stop heating this space. And ultimately you take this shit box out, and if we go to the nav computer, nav station, use, so he'll boot this up. We've got a little sort of hand scrawled, like I get it, but I don't like when tutorials don't have a readable UI. There's nothing wrong with breaking the fourth wall. Just give me a bloody pop-up that's clear, all right? Anyway, so you can put that away. So this is how you nav. I don't believe this does anything yet. I don't think it's implemented. This is map controls and RCS maneuvers. And so essentially if I press map controls and use WASD, I can move my map around. And that's me there, I'm the little blue thing. But if I go RCS maneuvers and use WASD, I can actually move my ship. You can strafe, you can rotate, and you can throttle up. All right. So what's probably a good idea is if we drag the map, because you can drag it with, well, actually, let's just go to map control. That might be easier. So these are sort of randomly generated derelicts that we can hit. And I think that might be police. I'm not sure. So technically salvaging is illegal. And I think it's one of those games where you kind of want to go further out to avoid the patrols, because this is like a space base. I think it's an asteroid or a planet or something, but this is like the central base, K-Leg. So you want to go out, you want to salvage and come back, but if the coppers come past, they will board you and shake you down with a fine, unless you buy like a daily license, which I think is like $5,000, and you can see we've got $100. So it's up to you how you want to go about it. We're just going to go and click on this derelict here will do. So what we'll do is we'll change to RCS maneuvers. I will put tracking from ship not off. It starts drifting and I'm not sure why, but we go to target. If we track to target, I find that helpful. And then what we're basically going to want to do is, well, drive out there. You can sort of zoom in. So it is obviously a spaceship. So once you put a thrust vector against it, it starts going. You can speed up time here. I think I changed my hotkeys because they were weird. But you can see this blur on the monitor seems to be a predictor of your vector. And when you speed it up, it gets longer, right? But obviously you don't want to do that. So we want to go up to there and we want to dock it. And you can dock at any angle, but essentially you want to be nose on, right? So let's see. Relative velocity we've got going on there. At 5 kilometers, we'll be able to dock. Range, 8 kilometers there. So let's start bringing it back. Make a day of it. That must be the name of my ship. All right. So we'll just drift in. But it doesn't seem to show you like your relative vectors or anything like that. So you got to figure it out yourself. Okay. So that's good. That's a good warning. That just means we're in range. You can actually clear the proximity warning. And then we tab over here to the docking view. You go select docking target. And the question mark is where we're going, the unknown vessel within 5 kilometers. Go docking clearance and go accept. And there it is there. And now we have this sort of maneuvering in a flat plane. This is only sort of 2D. There's no up and down in this game. It's not 3-dimensional. It's all sort of flat. And we can change our facing. So I'm rotating our front, but we can also strafe like that. But essentially you're trying to line up the docking clamps. And these are like, it looks like Blade Runner or might be one of the Alien movies that has a docking thing like this. Tracking lock detected. That's not good. That's probably the police. So essentially you want to throttle in and you want to line up your docking clamps and gently engage the clamp once they essentially one-to-one overlap. But you got to be careful of collisions and all that, because all it takes is a little touch and you'll just rip the side off your ship or whatever, and then you'll be in all sorts of deep shit. But that's half the fun. Is going, all right, well, how do I fix this? Because you can the building system's actually pretty flexible. You can kind of build anything as long as you've got the scrap and shit for it. There we go. So clamps aligned, we're good. All right, we're not reading all this bloody visual novel nonsense. That's not what we're here for. So I think we can just click off it and he'll walk off. So before we jump onto the ship, actually let's deal with that bloody alarm, because that's gonna get old. I get it, someone's tracking me. Oh, it's this patrol. So I guess you could try and run or whatever. I'm just gonna clear the tracking warning, and if he's gonna board us, he's gonna board us, whatever. All right, what I'm gonna do is put my dude on behavior auto for the moment, and what they'll do is just start repairing shit, basically, because the ship is in such disrepair because it's a shit box. And so you can kind of just speed the game right up to like times 16 or whatever. Proximity alarm, because this cop's coming up next to me. Now, I'm not 100% sure how he's going to dock onto me when my docking clamp is already engaged. What are you going to do, mate? Is he just going to crash into me? I can hope not. You know what? Let's put our pressure suit on just in case. So the way that the pressure suit works is it takes the O2 and the temp of the atmosphere that it's in. It's sort of this own, it's not a rebreather per se, but it doesn't have its own tank or anything like that. Now I think you can get EVA suits later on that will have tanks and systems in them. But basically it almost captures an atmosphere pocket temporarily of the environment that you're in. So if you go into the wreck, you can just sort of cruise around and it will give you a warning. Oh, looks like someone's, oh no, he's walked off. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Well, I guess maybe they can't board me when they don't have a docking clamp available. I'm going to jump on the nav station just to see. Yeah, see the patrol's hanging around. I'm going to clear the proximity warning because like he's just doing donuts there. Okay, fuck him. Whatever. All right, so I'm going to go salvaging. All right, so we go into our airlock and that sort of just closes behind us. And you notice that the sound gets muffled when you're in your suit, and then we go into the outer airlock. and we'll have a bit of a look around. And one of the first things is that there is no lighting. And the amazing thing about this game is, well, hang on, let's put this lamp in our hand and then toggle it on. There we go, now we've got lighting. The cool thing about this is that, like, these are derelicts, and if you can get it working, oh my God, hang on. This is the smallest ship I've ever seen. This is crazy. But if you can get it working and rejig it, you can take it. You can make it yours. And that's sort of how this works, is you're sort of trying to ramshackle your own situation together and just survive. And I love it. I love it so much. So we've got a nav station here. Now, the other thing is that you can get ones with like nuclear reactors in them and really complicated UI. You know, getting the ignition switch and jump starting it and the coolant flowing, and it's fucking cool. All the panels, like if you go up to these doors and go, where are the like exterior airlock, open. I'm sort of just, you can look at like control panels. And they've all got stuff going on, and like you could unscrew, I don't really want to fuck with this, but you can unscrew it and mess with it and get right in there. And so like the troubleshooting of trying to figure out, all right, what's wrong with this ship? How would I fix it? How do I put it back together? Or alternatively, you can just start pulling it to fucking pieces. Now the loot system's quite fiddly because we've got the ground and you see we've got like trash there. But for example, if I move, you can use WASD to move around. Right, so I wish there was a way to pull this fucking thing down so I could just look at this, but I don't know how to do that. You can move these around, but I don't know how you could pin them, if that makes sense. Because I'd love to just have these inventory UIs, like get rid of this shit, but I can't, you know. And maybe it's just because it's an early build, or maybe I'm missing something. Smart Armstrong is searching for intimacy. Shut up, loser. So if you move around, you can see the ground there as well. And so you can do shit like this, go pick that up, and you will. Or you can just drag it into your inventory, or you can shift click and all that sort of stuff as well. So I found that playing it like this in this tiny window might be one of the better ways to go about it. Look at that, a motor. Fuck yeah. It doesn't tell you how much they're worth though. So it's one of those games that, because you are salvaging, you kind of got to figure out for yourself what's worth what. So you can just go around and pick up all the loose shit on the ground. So what's this? Loose wall parts. All right, so there's not a lot. But then, of course, if we get out of here, you can press 9 and have a look at all the bits and bobs. And you can go, okay, well, what's this? We've got RCS clusters here. So we could manually rip them out of the wall with our like cutting tools. And you can like salvage it and take it home to sell if you don't get shook down by the cops. Now, if you go to the nav station off, restore. And it's as simple as that. Your dude's just going to start repairing. So we'll just speed right up. And if we get like an O2 warning or something, it will auto slow the speed down. There you go. So the nav station's repaired. So uninstall, restore. We already repaired it. Okay, so it's not getting power, obviously. We've got a battery here. Looks like that's got power. Let's see. Battery. Let's try restoring. Let's see if we can get something happening here. I thought I clicked restore. Battery restore. So it's like deafeningly silent when you're in no atmosphere, because you can see, oh, there is actually a little bit of atmosphere. Pressure. I mean, it's nothing. And it's not breathable. Exterior airlock opened. All right, we could close. Okay, so we can close this ship's airlock. There we go. Yeah, because that's theirs. That's ours. Right, so it's obviously not generating atmosphere. So there's probably leaks and holes in the wall. Let's see. Let's go battery control panel. I mean, okay. It's not much we can. I think if you equip, I don't know if I've got like a screwdriver. Got a soldering iron. But you can get like, oh, here you go, I got a screwdriver. I wonder if equipping the screwdriver will make a difference. Again, I'm not an expert. I've only played a bit, but okay, maybe you can't really do much with it. Battery seems to be holding power and working fine. Let's have a look here. We've got cabling here. I mean, maybe it's as simple as the nav station will turn on. See, bash. Okay, we've got an O2 warning, so we're going to go back in, and it will be as simple as jumping back in here and just take your helmet off, basically, right? Like that. And you can see we've got sparks, all our shit's breaking down as well. So you have to maintain your ship too. But pressure, what's the pressure at? 95. That's fine, whatever. So that should refuel the helmet and we can just go back in and let the pressure build back up. Oh, I probably shouldn't have opened those two doors back to back like that. What happened there? Oh, maybe I was quick. Yeah, because you will get like wind blowing out. You'll just fucking blow out all your pressure reserves. Okay, so... Okay. This looks like it might be damaged. Restore. Now you can give orders, and I'm still working this out, but like repair, I believe this is. So if I were to drag that all along there, and then let's say there as well, I think my dude will do it on his own. Maybe not though. Yeah, so I gotta remember how I do this. Auto, put them on auto. There you go. But they do seem a little bit touch and go with some of the orders, especially when you start multi-crewing. Okay. Nav station. See, yeah, still bash. I don't know if bashing really is a great idea. Unable to comply. It's probably not a bad thing, to be honest. So I can't turn it on, and I don't know why. But that's part of it, is sort of troubleshooting the problems. Conduit. See, now I think, you know what, actually, let's pick up that trash. Look at that. I think that's what it is. There's maybe trash is like scrap that gets wrecked, and it might be that our cable's not connecting to that port. I think. Again, we're getting a little bit out of my range. So let's go build. But this is cool actually, because we're kind of showcasing a lot. So you can see here like hull, you can make doors, floors, that sort of stuff. And broadly speaking, you can kind of make anything. Get your whole HVAC system going. It's not super complicated. It's actually, you know, I had my complaints about the beginning of the game, but the way that this all works is fucking pretty cool. Fridges, sensors, that sort of stuff. It's all pretty well implemented and approachable. Anyway, so let's have a look here. Power, conduit, jumper jack, emergency cabling. How about conduit? So what is that there? Oh, that's emergency cabling there. Oh, well, maybe we do the same thing. All right, so we can put it like that there, and he should do it on his own if he has the parts for it. Might not have the bits and pieces. I'm not 100% sure. Jumper jack, because now jumper jack emergency cabling I think is an actual item. You know what, let's let's just cancel that. Cancel. What I was originally going to do, and I'll do it now, is I was just going to actually try and just install normal cabling, right? This. Hopefully he can do that. There we go. All right, let's let that run. Okay. Install? No. What's happened here? Placeholder. So has that connected it? No? Let's try install. Pick up stack, floor loose. No, I'm not interested in floor loose. I'm interested in install. Oh, this seems promising. Fuck. Conduit. Restore. Restore. I don't know, maybe we remove the jumper jack cabling. Uninstall. Emergency cabling. Yeah, so I think, yeah, see, that's an actual thing on the ground that you can pick up, I believe. Just pick up, right? And then you can have in your inventory. So hypothetically, the smarter move would probably be buy a whole stack of those, bring them in your inventory so you don't have to do all this bullshit. Power. Come on, let's see. Otherwise, we're probably just going to have to finish up shortly. Can you please install that? How come that's oh, I don't know. I think I'm starting to lose it now. See, the cables aren't there anymore, so I don't know what to tell you. Power, conduit, there. Restores floor, D, mobile spaces. See, now my guy's freaking out, so I don't know 100% what's happened here. Yeah, see, now I'm just restoring the floor. So it could be that I'm missing parts and in bits and pieces. So we're not there 100%. Anyway, so ultimately you would finish up scrapping here and then you would bail on your ship and then go back in and probably take your precious suit off because you don't want to suffocate, right? And then you could, jump on the nav station and you can disembark. Looks like the cop got sick of hanging around. So maybe that's the trick. Just stay docked and you'll be fine. And then you can push off basically and then fly back in and just go back and forth. And you can either, you can pull the wall sections out and scrap this. I've trapped myself on floor panels before and not been able to get back to my ship. So you got to be careful doing that. But it could be as simple as just fill your inventory up with shit, buy crowbars, that sort of stuff, all sorts of different tools, because you can have big wrecks with locked bulkheads. Like this one's the tiniest thing I've ever seen, but I've seen huge ones, humongous ships, and you're in there just exploring. You can find all these crates and it's like treasure searching, breaking them open and taking all the parts back. So the gameplay loop's really, really fun. And yeah, ultimately trying to figure out how to troubleshoot a ship is sort of the longer game, and we gave it a bit of a go there. And while I'm still confused and there's stuff to learn and the game's quite buggy still, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it immensely. So yeah, it's got some issues, but it's got enough there that I'm actually really pumped to see where it goes. Team, let me know if you want to see some more, because this is something I'd be happy to play on the channel. It's very old school Scarlet, the more engineering stuff, even though, to be honest, it's not that complicated once you get your head around the systems. It's more puzzly than engineering, to be honest. Anyway, it's a cool game. Check it out, or wait, or tell me if you want to see some more. Otherwise, I might just leave it there for the time being, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.